The UDA government is creating unnecessary tension in the country by all these unnecessary abductions. And very soon, there is going to be tension between the ordinary Mwananchi and the owners of Subaru cars. I'm telling you this because yesterday alone, there were 2 abductions. And funny enough, both the 2 abductions were involving only women, ladies. The 2 abductees were women. One involved a foreign critic of the current government of Tanzania, a critic of the president of Tanzania, Madam Samia Suluhu, the lady by the name Maria. And I think she had fled to the country, maybe fearing for her life there, or she was running some errands in the country. And she was abducted in broad daylight. And as always, a Subaru was involved. The second one happened in Kirinyaga, where a lady was apparently called by a strange number, and someone was inquiring, I think was inquiring to buy some rice. I think the lady is involved in some rice vending. When she appeared to give out the order that had been requested, to her utter shock, a Subaru emerged and she was bundled in that Subaru. Now, funny enough, both the abductees were rescued by sheer tenacity of Kenyans who have decided that they are going to be part and parcel of the change that they are yearning for. They're not just going to talk. And I want us to watch these 2 videos of the ladies I'm talking about. Before that, ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe to the channel if you're watching for the first time. And when you watch this video, kindly like it and share it if you can. Thank you for your continued support even as you watch.
Rolling.
Asanteni sana, nipo salama, Mungu ni mwema. Na kesho nitachukua muda niwashukuru vizuri. Naomba niwashukuru watu wa Kenya, watu wa Tanzania, and all the international people. Specific shout out to the people who are the man nation, because today I have been saved. Thank you.
Ensued at Kirinyaga village in Kirinyaga County when angry residents confronted DCI officers who had arrived in a black Subaru and made attempts to capture a female resident in public. Residents claimed the DCI officers arrived in the village and caught the female resident before bundling her in the car. They protested against what they referred to as an abduction, using border borders to catch up with the DCI officers aboard a Subaru vehicle. They forcefully took the lady, only identified as Gatwiri, before summoning the area chief to substantiate the identity of the DCI officers. Well, it took the intervention of Chief Henry Kariuki and uniformed police officers from Wanguru Police Station to rescue the DCI officers from the wrath of the angry mob. They then forced the officers to free the female. The victim, Gatwiri, says she received a call from a new number inquiring about the availability of Pishori rice. The caller ordered 20 kilograms of rice, only for a black Subaru to pull up with DCI officers who hounded her into the trunk.
Kila kitu imetusababisha ni ile kitu ya gari kukuja ichukua msichana na kumweka kwa mbuti. Sisi kama watu wa Kirinyaga tukatoka mbio. Hakufuata gari, kufuata gari.
Sisi hatuwezi kubali watu wa Kirinyaga ama watu wa Mwea watekwe nyara tukiwa huko.
Tukaona itakuwa vyema wale maafisa wa polisi kwanza warudi, wakija na utaratibu ule mwingine ambao tuna involve mpaka ofisi zetu ofisi yetu ya chief waweze kuchukua huyu mtu wafanye uchunguzi kwa ile njia inayofaa.
You will agree with me that Kenyans have decided to be very vigilant. Like in Kirinyaga, they got wind or they saw that lady being bundled into a Subaru car, and they decided, we cannot let this lady go. We do not know whether she's going to come back alive. This tells you that Kenyans have got their ears now open. Anytime they see, and all their eyes open, anytime they see a Subaru, a strange Subaru around, then they want to inquire what is happening. And that is exactly what happened to that lady. And they ganged up. They wanted to know, who are you? And why are you abducting an innocent Kenyan? Because even if you are a suspect, you are innocent until proven guilty. And they were like, why can't you use the constitutional method of apprehending a suspect? Why do you abduct? Now, the second lady is a Tanzanian opposition, part of the opposition that has been a critic of the Samia Suluhu's government. Now, when she was abducted, Amnesty International, the Kenyan branch, had said that we spread that message. Anyone who gets that message, spread it. Make noise, demand for accountability. And she was finally released, I think, after a lot of noise. Both the Kenyan counterparts and the Tanzanian counterparts were really piling a lot of pressure. And finally, she was released. Now, the two incidences involved two ladies, one a foreigner, another our country person in the country. But for them to be released, Kenyans had to come out. Both Kenyans tweeting on Facebook, Instagram, on Twitter, and they were demanding for accountability. And then in Kirinyaga, it was a kind of a physical confrontation. And the Kenyans, just apart from being vigilant, you'll realize that the fear is gone. Sometimes back when people saw a Subaru vehicle, they would run away. But now, these days, when they see a Subaru vehicle, they will be coming closer just to find out, what exactly do you want? So they're demanding for accountability. The fear is gone. They confront the Subaru occupants. They are very, very vigilant. But then let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. If the government is not careful, soon there will be casualties. Like in that scenario, I believe those who are abducting or are going for the abduction event or exercise, they carry weapons. They have pistols or some guns or whatever it is. And they know very well that their life could also be in danger. They already cock the machines. Now, what happens in the event that the ordinary Mwananchi decides that we are not going to let you go? We are sick and tired, because you've realized that the more the abductions take place, the more Kenyans develop a thick skin, the more they develop some courage, and the more they get vexed and they get angry about what is happening in the country, especially after the politicians around the president also become very arrogant, and they are telling us very unapologetically that they will deal with the youths who are trying to criticize the government, and they're saying that Ruto is going nowhere. So anger is increasing. So what happens if these people would have decided that maybe they start stoning the Subaru, and then the occupants of the Subaru, the abductors, also fire in the air? There would be casualties. They would kill some people. They would also be killed on the way. So what makes the government not to use the very methods that are established in the Constitution? I do not support some of these things that do happen. For example, the president says it is disrespect and unconstitutional to have his image or to make a caricature of his image in a coffin. I think they fear death, and I understand it goes against the Constitution. Of course, someone is also saying that, why don't we look at the root cause why they are doing this? Maybe they are pissed off by certain things that are happening in the government, and the only way as the digital generation to criticize the government is to use the social media. However, even be that as it may, that they are breaching the Constitution, then why don't we use lawful methods? so that they are apprehended and taken to court. It is upon the judge using the penal codes and the laws of the land to interpret what that is tantamount to. Is it treason? Is it death? Is it punishable by what is it? And then the judge should also investigate why there all of a sudden there is an upsurge of some youths trying to use social media to criticize the government. Someone was telling me that the government does not understand the art language because this is art. They use this to criticize the government. Casualties will be there if the government is not very careful. But you must also agree with me that Kenyans have decided that the fear is gone. Why not for the brave nature that they put and they decided to confront the abductors on social media and physically, then we would be talking about something else. Maybe there would be hashtag release Mariah, release the person, the lady who was abducted in Kirinyaga. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Like I say, Kenya will soon plunge into anarchy because there is lawlessness and it is coming from above. If the government is the one that does not want to use the very constitutional methods of dealing with lawbreakers or suspects, then how do they expect us to now, obey the law? It reminds me of the days when the president himself said he was not going to obey court orders. And when all this happens, the people see what is happening, even the young children, the younger generation, and is setting a very bad precedent that will backfire on him. Why is William Ruto becoming very unpopular? Simple. The very policies that he does not want to even look into. The policies that have ended up in court, all of them, including the university funding model that the youths who are in colleges and universities do not want. How I pray that William Ruto listens to the people. He has detached himself from the people so much that it is like he does not know what is happening. The people around him are not doing him any better job because they keep on praising him, telling him you are dressed in your Sunday best instead of telling him you're naked king. Instead of going to look for the opposition and looking for Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto should go and look for the disgruntled Kenyans who voted for him or those who didn't vote for him but are feeling the pangs of the pain of the economic hard times, the high cost of living, the high cost of education. He should look for them. He should sit down with these think tanks, those who have been paid millions of money because they are either economic advisors or security advisors. When the security is not working, when the economy is not working, let him not go to the leaders. Let him engage directly the common wananchi, and he will realize that Kenyans are suffering. And that is the main reason why Kenyans go to the social media. In fact, let me tell you, if William Ruto wants to test, let him just make a paradigm shift on how he's running the economies, how he's running the politics of the country, how he's running the security of the country. Then things will change. These youth will not go ahead criticizing and making caricatures of himself. It is as simple as such. Just change the way you do things and you'll realize that they also change. Listen to the plight of Kenyans. You told Kenyans when you were campaigning you had a plan. Why didn't you just follow the plan that you sold to them for them to vote for you? That is the main cause. By abducting, by looking for people like Uhuru Kenyatta to join you, you are not confronting the situation. You are cutting this tree, but you've still left the roots. It will sprout again. I don't know what to think, ladies and gentlemen, but I have a feeling that Kenyans are becoming angrier by the day. And soon there is going to be a problem with even innocent Subaru guys because of the way the government is conducting itself. I don't know what to think. but I salute all the Kenyans who stood firm. And I like the way they were saying it, that now the DCI should now come back, follow the right channel, and let them apprehend, and maybe take the person to court if at all she's a suspect. I don't know what to think, but that is my take.